Good morning. Welcome to the 2019 Ecotourism Talk. I'm your host, Alexandria Martinez, and I have a very special guest panel with me today representing different areas that we feel are significantly impacted by ecotourism and pollution. Everyone knows what ecotourism is, but the real purposes of ecotourism is nature conservation and the contribution to local smaller communities surrounding the areas. We're first going to start off with Portugal, where I have my colleague Mindy and her team.
Thank you, Aleen. Hi, my name is Mindy Zheng, and today I'm here with two of my colleagues, Aleen and Reena. And the three of us will be talking about a few of the unique and interesting ecotourism spots in Portugal. The first one we'll be talking about is Guadiana Valley. Guadiana Valley is known for their contrasting landscapes, from the wildflowers in the spring to the fungi carpets in the autumn, and bird life all year long. They also have plains that help protect and preserve all the original vegetation in the region, as well as the highest waterfall in southern Portugal called Pulo do Lobo, which translates to Wolf Sleep, which is the distance between the two rocks at the top of the waterfall. Now, besides all the nature stuff, there's also a few small towns and villages in Guadiana Valley, such as Serpa, which is known for their medieval walls and architecture, amazing cheese, and the town museum that dates back to the Roman and Islamic periods. Then there's Sao Domingo, which is known for the mining in the mountain range, and this is such an important small town because it used to be the center to extract copper. Now, the main purpose of Guadiana Valley is for people to come to Guadiana Valley and help with conservation work in the natural park. But there's also lots of other things like hiking, canoeing, dining at traditional Portuguese restaurants, and learning about heritage and culture. So if any of those things sound really fun to you, Guadiana Valley is definitely a place to be. And now my colleague Aleen will be talking about the next place.
Thank you, Mindy. Another interesting ecotourism spot in Portugal is called the Eco Igloo, also referred to as Maninho de Maninho, and it's owned by Annabelle and Rue, who basically restored abandoned houses to create this amazing riverside property. It's located 10 kilometers from the Panama Core in the district of Branco, and it's the only place in Portugal that offers a distinctive experience of sleeping in a bubble under the sky while watching the stars. It's only open in the warmer months, which is April to October. It consists of 5 houses to rent, and guests can not only enjoy the quiet sounds of the water and the nature, but also they can go boating, kayaking, or even read by the pool. It's great for guests to disconnect from the world and connect with the nature and the guests they're with, since also it has no Wi-Fi in service. Now I'm going to pass it on to Reena.
Thank you, Aleen. So the next ecotourism spot in Portugal is Star Camp. Star Camp was made in 2016 in collaboration with Rewilding Europe. So rewilding is a natural conservation process that helps restore damaged ecosystems while also helping with animal repopulation. Star Camp is considered an eco-lodge as it is made with the least impact to its surroundings. The inside components can be taken out, leaving just the outside wooden structure, which is completely made of local materials, and it also includes a compostable toilet and a solar-powered shower. Some activities you can do in the surrounding area are biking, hiking, or bird watching in the Faya Brava Reserve, and you can also visit local vineyards for wine tasting or olive presses, as olive oil is known in Portugal. And after a day of activities, you can go back to Star Camp and enjoy a unique dinner on a cliff while watching the starry sky. And the best part of this all is that it helps fund the rewilding process.
Along with all these positive impacts come negative impacts, and some of them include wear and tear on destinations and local businesses, interruptions in the residents' lives, the deterioration in the quality of life of the locals because of unemployment, and local shops closing down, change in the price market, and local businesses not being able to preserve their cultures to match the tourist need.
Thank you, team. Next, we will have two special guests speaking for Vietnam.
Hello, my name is Perla, and this is my colleague Ting, and we will be speaking to you about Vietnam.
Hello, I'm Tien. Today I will introduce you guys about the Mai Chau. And Mai Chau is a must-visit accommodation during holiday in Vietnam, Located in the northern of Vietnam, Mai Châu is completely different world of pure air, untouched nature, and attractive tribal culture. And their hotel is built entirely from natural materials, consisting of 21 charming styles and 5 different types of bungalows. And its uniqueness are bamboo interiors, the palm roofs, or outdoor jungle shower. Um, in addition, Mai Châu is covered by the rice paddies and green mountains, which is a best place for you to relax after all day long. And moreover, Mai Châu can be a best friend for you if you like outdoor activity. It includes like biking, hiking, cooking, and farming, and and you can like enjoy yourself and get into the natural rhythm or explore the culture by culinary lessons and immerse yourself in the local way of life. So although Mai Châu is a famous ecotourism, but there has some impact on the economy and culture. And passing on my team, Perla will give you more details about it.
Alright, so I have the details about the positives and the negatives of this example of ecotourism. What we have for positives is that it can help to reduce and eliminate poverty. When you make spaces like ecotourism, when the sites, you usually need jobs, which helps with the economic activity in the country. Also, it can increase the local cash flow, especially with the jobs being made. Also, food and production increase because the tourists come usually to eat and to stay and to enjoy themselves. Also, another positive is that it can preserve and develop traditional values of the local Thai people. For example, they can utilize indigenous materials to make souvenirs to take home and stuff like that. Also, holding local festivals, people can actually learn about the culture, and the green and refreshing atmosphere is a key factor that attracts visitors to Mai Châu. Also, we have our negatives that could be changes in construction. Usually when you see locations like this one being made, you also see modernization in the traditional landscapes and construction. Also, the in-house furniture is also modernized, not traditional. Also, the changes are in stilt houses to adapt with the homestay buildings, so it can look more modernized and not traditional. Also, the residents are affected by day in, day out visitors. When you have so many people contributing to one place, it tends to change the culture. Also, increased tourism without proper planning leads to urbanization. When too many people come at the same time, they have to make more buildings, more food, and stuff like that, which can lead to the city being modernized.
Thank you, Perla. Next, we have my colleague and I, Takeru, who will be discussing Japan. Japan is quite literally the most obvious example of the negative and positive effects of tourism and pollution, but the mass media coverage of the issue still fails to resonate the extent to which Japan is being impacted. The most basic of many megacities in Japan, especially Tokyo, overcrowding of the people is the biggest problem. An exact example would be, excuse me if I don't pronounce this right, Takeshita Street in Tokyo, a simple street filled to the brim with tourists. Japan didn't come to terms about their need for focus on sustainability when dealing with tourism until after the Great East Japan earthquake in 2011. According to a survey in 2006 by the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport, 62,273 communities in Japan were considered to be underpopulated, and 4.2% of them, which is an additional 2,634 communities, were expected to die out in the near future. The abandoned villages are struggling with major challenges, including illegal garbage and scrap dumping, deforestation, and loss of farm and properties. As more and more Japanese citizens abandon these outside rural communities, Japan as a whole is threatened by the lack of food production, contaminated drinking water, and the dismantling of ancient landscapes and nature features. The overwhelming transformation from traditional to completely modernized lifestyle in Japan has caused many home residents to leave Japan. While I just touched on a few negative points, Takeru did want to speak on some positives.
Thank you. So, the one of the few ways Japan is tackling this problem for ecotourism is Japan Ecology Association. It's the Japanese government's way of using ecotourism to revitalize the communities in Japan. And in Japan, many tourist destinations are preserved and protected as national parks, and 31 of them to be exact. In Tokyo, some of the most popular parks that for tourists to enjoy is going to be the Shinjuku and Yoyogi National Parks. One of the most notable is Yoyogi National Park. It hosts the Meiji Shrine and allows tourists and locals to connect to Japanese history and nature. And it also is a popular site that Japan lets the public see. And another spot in Japan for tourists to enjoy nature is in Kyoto, which has Lake Biwa. It's the largest lake in Japan. The museums on site gives visitors the chance to explore Lake Biwa's cultural and natural history exhibits, such as the 17th century Hikone Castle.
Thank you, Takeru. Thanks to the green trend, an industry-wide improvement has been seen in recent years to become more environmentally friendly and sustainable. Before closing the panel discussion today, I wanted to ask my panelists for a final word on their countries. Mindy?
Thank you, Aleen. So on our last word on Portugal, I would like to cover that Portugal has many and tons of ecotourism cities along the coast. However, we only covered 3 of the few unique ones. And so with the ecotourism that occurs, there's different backgrounds and ideas and activities such as heritage, culture, and nature. And so to attract and to unattract, it's very easy and difficult. However, we have some solutions on how to attract more ecotourists to come and help preserve, protect, and learn about our culture. So with all the different things that we have, I would like to say that we should keep everything and also add new ideas and innovations to bring and attract other ecotourists. So that way we attract them with the new ideas, but have them stay for the old ones.
All right. Also, we have a lot going on in overpopulated places that a lot of tourists go to, is that culture is deeply impacted by the tourists that go there. So something that we could do to solve this is educating tourists of the culture and the customs of the area. We could also have small local businesses join together so they don't die out from bigger corporations. Also, eco hotels and attractions could get their materials and supplies from the small businesses. So not only the small businesses thrive, but they're also helping out with the culture of the area. And also teaching tourists how to be respectful to the area and to the place, because of how deeply it is impacted around the area.
All right, thank you, Perla. So one of the many problems with Tokyo, to be exact, is that it's very overcrowded. Some of the solutions that I can propose to promote ecotourism is for the government to provide incentives to the surrounding regions like Saitama or Kanagawa, to promote businesses to open up sustainable practices around ecotourist spots in surrounding areas. And hopefully this will promote the distribution of wealth and population, and especially tourists.
I would also like to add one more thing before we close out. I feel that the first step in making a change is educating people, because if people aren't even aware that they are making a difference negatively in a community, I feel like the first step is educating them about a way of how to be an ecotourist, essentially. So maybe at the time of their arrival, they will be given pamphlet examples, or maybe something intriguing to read, or maybe even an online check-in type of article thing that will kind of give them some tips and tricks to preserve the nature while enjoying their trips. Thank you, team, for your valuable information and input. I'd love to recognize each of you for your efforts today. So we're kind of going to go around and please state your full name, as at the beginning I only got your first names. So again, I'm Alexandria Martinez, and
I'm Takeru.
I'm Trang.
I'm Perla Lopez.
I'm Reena.
I'm Aleen Kadiwal.
I'm Mindy Zheng.
and thank you so much for watching our ecotourism talk today, and we hope that you guys enjoyed. Bye-bye.
Thank you.